Good one. All right, how about multiplicative structure? And don't forget, when you see red to yellow, that first ratio is 1 to 3, because there was some confusion about that. What's the multiplicative structure? How quickly we forget. You're going to need to know it in order to advance to the next step. All right, let me help you with this, because I don't see enough hands. What are you multiplying? That's multiplicative structure from one quantity in the ratio to the next. Times what? Correct. Good so far. I'm going to go to full screen just so I don't have to scroll back and forth with these numbers. It's just easier to say. It's going to make our fonts a little bit smaller, but at least it's all there. All right, can you put in words the relationship between yellow and red? And let me give you a starter. How many times more, or how much more times-wise, is there yellow paint compared to red paint? Angelina.
It's 3 times the amount of red paint.
I need 3 times more yellow than red. Agree? Because here comes the leap. Before I do that, though, have you done variable in elementary school?
Yeah.
Do you know what a variable is? Raise your hand if you know what a variable is. JFR. Well, try it.
Isn't it kind of like the
All right, it has something to do with letters, doesn't it?
So it's kind of missing.
You got it. I'm missing. Right. It's a variable is a letter that represents a number that can change or vary throughout an equation. Okay. In other words, a variable is a number or a letter that represents a number that we don't know. Next thing I want to ask you, did I expose you to the dot for multiplication?
Yeah.
Why don't I want to use an X anymore for multiplication? Lee.
Because x is also a variable, so some people could get confused.
You got it. We're going to try to avoid using X for multiplication here on out. And we're going to use this dot instead. So now we're going to make our leap. Look at your column for red. Look at your column for Y. What if that red paint gets the variable R and yellow paint gets the variable Y? We're going to write an equation between R and Y. So let me get you started. The amount of yellow, which I'm going to call Y, equals fill in the rest. Y equals, or yellow equals, what? And the only hint I'm going to give you is you need an R on this side of the equation. But you got to do something to that R. What do you think? Steven? No. See if he says let's see if look at the column for R. Raise your hand, give me those values, any value you want. Matt. All right, we'll pick a column with a ratio for 5. I'm going to take the 5 for R, and I'm going to substitute it in. Now I'm going to say 5, not R, times 3. And look, I get 1. Let's try one more to be sure. Another value. Okay, let's see if 2 will work. Here's my ratio, 2 to 6. Let's see if it works. I take my 2 for R, and I put it in. Now, instead of R being R, it's now 2. 2 times 3 is, and look, it works. Think about what we just did. Remember we did TRF? You had red over yellow. What's our value of our ratio? We took the 5 initially. That was our R. And we did what? To get 5 times what? Got us what?
5 times 3.
Now, instead of 5 being 5, it's R times 3 gives you Y. That's the leap, because once you understand that equation connection, you don't need to do TRF anymore. If you know the equation between R and Y, you can write the equation. I can give you any value for R or Y, you substitute it in, and you get the answer without having to do TRF, or tape diagrams, or equivalency ratio tables. Because let's face it, do you really want to do 100 boxes for tape diagram? But you could use the equation. What if I tell you, ready? 2,000 gallons for R. 2,000 gallons of red. What do you got? You multiply it by 3. You don't have to write all those little tape diagrams. You know the equation. It's another strategy. But it's a way to understand how to write the equation. That's where the leap is. Can you write the equation? Yes. You can, where that's our next leap. That's our next page. Okay? If you're going the other way, if I the Y, you try to fit it. It's coming. Yes.
R times 3 equals Y.
You can, yes, you can reverse this. If this helps you, you can do that. I'm fine with it. Because an equation could be flipped. As long as the terms on each side stay exactly the same. You can do that. Okay, let's go on to page 4. Are we good with this? Because you kind of got to get this in order to sleep, which is on page 4. All right, let's flip. We already kind of did substitution, but I want to do it again. Here was the formula that we developed, right? 3 times R. Every time you come up with a formula, to see if it's right, you've got to test it. Aiden Virus, give me a value for R other than 3 and other than 5 on the table. Okay, let's see if it works. Aiden Virus, what's 3 times 4? Oh, you gave me 4. It works. Let's do one more. We've already done 3. We've already done 4, and we've already done 5. Matt Kudo, 2 or 1? 2. All right, let's see if it works. 3 times 2, bud.
3 times 2.
It works. All right, now are we good with this? Because here comes another leap. What if I have to come up with an equation to figure out, see, we did a equation to figure out how much Y is needed for a given R. What if I reverse it? And I want to figure out an equation to figure out R equals this equals what? What do I have to do to the Y? In other words, I'm going the other way. What do I have to do to Y to get the R? Oh, a lot of hands. Kind of surprised. I'm not that surprised because you're smart. Caitlin Mallory. By how much? How many agree? Divide by 3. Now here comes even a bigger leap. And I was impressed period 2 got this. If I go, let me erase this because it's getting busy up here. Everybody agree that if I go this way, R times 3 gets me the Y. Does everybody see it that way? 2 times 3, 6. 3 times 3, 9. 4 times 3, 12. 5 times 3, 15. We got that in the head? Go. 3.
1,
6 divided by 3.
2,
9 divided by 3. 12 divided by 3.
4,
15 divided by 3.
5.
You go the opposite way, you divide by 3, right? What if I tell you you have to go this way, but you got to tell me what you're multiplying by? That is a big leap. But I bet you know it, and I have a feeling you know it, and I know you know it, and I know you're going to get it if you think about it. Maybe you. Some of my students in period 2 said they learned this last year. They learned that dividing by 3 is the same as multiplying by what? I'm going with Mr. Matera. How many say 0.1? It's not 0.1. Makudo. How many say 0.3? No good, but you're close. Tristan.
1/3.
1/3 is correct. 1/3 is correct. I'm going to put it here. If it doesn't sink in right away, that's okay. But let me show it to you mathematically. And then if you can kind of remember this, it'll fall into place for you, hopefully. Watch this. 9 divided by 3. I hope. Okay, ready? 9 times, I take the 3, but I put a 1 over it. Do you know how to multiply fractions? What do I have to do to the whole number 9 in order to multiply fractions? Calling back on your 5th grade experience, I hope. NOS. Well, what do I have to do to the 9? I can't multiply by itself times a fraction. What do I have to do? 9 over what? Okay. Oops, times 1/3. Once you get this, now you multiply the tops and multiply the bottoms, and you get 9 over 3. But that's a top-heavy or improper fraction. So you get this gets changed into what? As a whole number. Next, say it. No, don't flip it. 3 goes into 9 how many times? And you get the same answer. 9 divided by 3 is the same as multiplying by 9 times 1/3. What if I give you this? What goes in the blank? 25 divided by what makes 5? Jake.
5.
Correct. Ready? $25 times what gives you 5? Come on, make the leap with me. Make the leap. Tim G.
1.
And 25 times 1 is 25. It's not 5.
5 is 25 5 times.
You got to make it a fraction. It can't be a whole number. Mia. Let's see if it works. 25 times 1 is 25 over 5, which is equal to 5. So all you're really doing to the fraction is you're putting a 1 over it. Are we okay with it? And if you're not okay with it, but you're okay with the division part, make this leap just yet. Just know, and going back to our ratio table, where is it? That if you're going this way, you're dividing by 3, and you're okay with that. Okay? That whole entire thing, what's called multiplying, dividing by a whole number, is the same as multiplying by its reciprocal. That can be a leap. But it won't be when we get into mod 3, because we do it when we do fractions. All right, it's gotten busy here, right? Where are we? All right, so the equation now, going back, we had the equation for y equals 3 times r. The equation now for red is r equals what? Because we've already kind of done it. What? Danny. Y divided by 3. If this makes more sense to you, here's the division. This one can be a leap, understandably at this point. So it should be r equals y times 1/3. Thank you. Okay, now go on to the next page. And the next page is this. Read the introduction quietly to yourself and make a ratio table. That you can do, and then we'll see if we can do the formulas or the equations together. How's your ratio table looking? Yes, no, maybe?
Yep.
All right, value of the ratio table. That you should know. What's the value?
4 to 5.
Multiplicative structure. And I'll make it simple. I'll make it a little bit easier for you. Make believe the multiplicative structure is going this way. Jake.
4.
Yes and yes. Times 4. Now, technically, if I was going this way like I'm supposed to do, give you candy if you get this right. Technically, the multiplicative structure is what? Really? You know this? Dylan. Divide by multiply by what? Multiplicative structure. Take it. Times 1/4. Okay? Think about it. Take my 4 and split it up 4 ways. How much is in each box? 1. 4 divided by 4 times 1/4 is 1. Okay? That's a stretch. I realize that. Okay, now let's write an equation. Write an equation that will let Ore calculate the amount of blue. As soon as you see that first color, B, then it's going to be B equals. All right? B equals what? This equals what I have to do to the R to get the B. And I'll give you a hint. It's either going to be division or multiplication. Or if you choose multiplication, you got to decide what. It's tricky. Chris Meyer.
Divided by 4.
All right, let's see if it works. B equals the red divided by 4. Let's see if it works. Anytime you come up with an equation, test it. Give me a value for R. Nick? Okay, I'm going to take my 12, and I'm going to put it in. 12 divided by 4 is, and look at that, it works. So Chris is right. Dylan? Yeah, you get a candy. All right, let's finish up with this. Write an equation that let Ore calculate the amount of red. So it's going to be R equals And I'll give you a hint. Don't leave yet. What do I have to do to the B to get the R? Don't leave yet because I got to give you your homework. Lay. Times 4. All right, here comes the homework. You ready? I want you to try page 7 tonight. Watch.